All right, good day everyone. So today I will be discussing about the Rizal's retraction controversy. Although it was already reported now by one of the reporters, I will be giving only a review. I guess it's concise and the summarized form of the narrative of his retraction. So the retraction being referred here is the Rizal's recant from a member of a Mason or Freemasonry back to the Catholic Church. So why did Rizal needs to recant or to retract his decision to be part or member of Freemasonry? That is because the Catholic Church, through the Jesuits and the Archbishop of Manila, wanted Rizal to die in the state of grace before his death. So this narrative that I will be using right now will be an account coming from an eyewitness. So we know that there are many accounts, and the most known account is the narrative of Father Balaguer. So Father Balaguer is maybe sounded biased for the Freemasons, knowing that he is a priest, a Jesuit priest. So we will know later about that later on. All right. So the source of this narrative is coming from the article of Dr. Rene Escalante. No? This is coming from the published article he wrote, published in the Southeast Asian Studies. It's volume 8, number 3. So as I said earlier, the account that we used, especially in the book of Tarintira, is coming from the account of the eyewitness, which is member of the Cuerpo de Vigilancia, and that is Federico Moreno. So this, according to historians and experts, this source is more objective than any account because he is neutral. Why he is neutral? He is a member of Cuerpo de Vigilancia, intelligence of the Spanish army, trying to get rumors or informations that has something to do with the Katipunan. So he is neutral because he is neither member of, maybe he is a Catholic, but his act was out of duty. He is not a priest and he is not a member of Masonry as well. So the documents of this collection, this Cuerpo de Vigilancia collection, was bought by the NCCA, or National Commission for Culture and the Arts, through resolution number 95285 from Senor Enrique Montero for an amount of $145,000. He acquired these documents coming from a descendant of a Spanish general who was assigned during the twilight years of the Spanish period. So the Cuerpo de Vigilancia de Manila, or the Security Corps of Manila, was the intelligence service that the Spanish colonial government created in 1895. It was organized primarily to gather information on the activities of Katipunan members and supporters. So Cuerpo agents were tasked to monitor the activities of suspected Katipunan members. They were supposed to report all sorts of rumors, collect new reports, identify the financiers of the Katipunan, compile revolutionary papers, gather photographs, and intercept mail. So the agents were also instructed to monitor foreigners who were sympathetic to the Katipuneros. In a span of 3 years, they were able to collect almost 3,000 documents containing eyewitnesses, or the eyewitness accounts of the activities of individuals fighting for Philippine independence. That is why the title of the collection is El Movimiento de Independencia de Filipinas, or the Movement for Independence in the Philippines. Of the more than 1,000 reports found in the Cuerpo collection, around 30 are about Jose Rizal, Some of them deal with him directly, while others are about Josephine Bracken, about his elder brother Pasiano Rizal, his parents, and some of Rizal's in-laws. So the bulk of the documents about Rizal focus on his trial and what transpired in his prison cell the day before he was executed. So that is because the narrative was the day before the execution. It was December 30, siya na-execute. The narrative, the events recorded is coming from December 29 up to 5 a.m. and 6 to 7:30 a.m. And then later he was executed. So there are at least 8 corpo documents that may be considered of great importance because they may be used as primary sources in clarifying certain controversies connected with Rizal's alleged retraction and other interrelated issues. These documents include a surveillance report written by Federico Moreno. So 2 documents allegedly written by Rizal and 5 newspaper clippings from Diario de Manila and La Voz Española or National Archives of the Philippines, NAP, Manuscript A1, Document 81. So basically, why do we need to study this retraction controversy? It's very simple. Because there are 2 camps vying for what is truth and preserving what is true. What has really happened and what is really the condition of Rizal before he died. Was he a member of the Catholic Church or remained a Mason? Basically, this is the dynamics. Once you are a Catholic, although the Masonry does not really renounce any faith, even though you're a Catholic or any member of any Christian denominations, maybe you're a Muslim or whatsoever, if you join the Masonry, your church or your sect, your faith will be respected. So that is with the Masonry. However, the Catholic Church, once you, as a Catholic, join the Masonry, you will be automatically excommunicated. So that is why even though Rizal is a Catholic, he cannot bring his faith there. Although it is respected in the organizations of the organization of Freemasonry, he cannot and he is forbidden to receive sacraments and to join any Catholic rites in the worship. That is why it has to be settled. Why the Catholic Church is also fighting for the truth, because the church has claimed that they have did everything to make Rizal recant before he died. So the pro-retraction camp here are the Jesuits, Father March, Father Balaguer, and Father Villaclara, and also Father Pai is also present on the narrative of Father Balaguer. The Archbishop of Manila, who was Bernardino Nozaleda, and some members of the clergy. While the who wanted to preserve the Rizal has remained a Mason before he died, of course, is the organization of the Freemasonry. So this is the sequence of events. December 29 at 10 in the morning. This is according to the report of the Cuerpo de Vigilancia Federico Moreno. December 29 at 10 a.m. Rizal spoke with Fathers March and Villaclara regarding religious matters. They presented the retraction on his life and deeds but refused to sign. So Rizal did not sign yet, because he thought, and according to his experience when he was in Europe, Freemasonry members has really did not attack the Catholic Church. So that's why they argued until 12:30 sa hapon. So by 3 p.m., Father March entered the chapel and Rizal handed him what he had written. So muna yung nakita ni Moreno. So Rizal signed the document he wrote. According niya, it seems it is the retraction letter. Although he did not write any detailed information about the letter because he was probably witnessing at a distance now. So from 3 p.m. to 5:30 p.m., Rizal read his prayer book several times. He prayed kneeling before the altar with the company of Fathers Villa Clara and March. So he read the acts of faith, hope, and charity repeatedly, as well as the prayer for the departing soul. By 6 p.m., his family arrived, his mother and his sisters, embracing them and bade farewell with great strength of character and without fear. So agad siya nagpakita og kahadlok or worry that he will die the next day. So nikaon siya. He ate his last dinner by 8 p.m. That is because he was persuaded by his counsel, his lawyer probably. So Senor Maure, Fathers March and Father Villa Clara visited him at 9 p.m. Then he rested. Maybe there is still a discussion at this 9 p.m. And he rested after the discussion. He rested until 4 a.m. So at 5 a.m., his lover and his sister Pilar visited him in the chapel, and there was a nuptial. Nakasal sila ni Rizal and his lover, Josephine Bracken, but there's no marriage contract. So that's why Rene Escalante, the author of this article, wanted not to settle that if there was a marriage contract or they are really married or not. That is because there's no marriage contract and no evidence has been found since. So at 7:30 a.m., he was handcuffed by a European artillery man and left for the place of execution. By the way, before this 7:30, he heard mass and confessed to Father March and then received communion. So at 7:30 a.m., he was handcuffed by a European artillery man and left for the place of execution. So it was not identified because it should be anonymous, the executioners. So before he left for the place of execution, Father March gave him the image of the Blessed Virgin, whom he kissed repeatedly. So the conflict here of the account of Moreno as well as the account of Balaguer, Father Balaguer. Father Balaguer claimed in his affidavit that he was an eyewitness and he was there negotiating of the retraction of Rizal, but he was not mentioned in the narrative of Moreno. So according to historians, there's no reason that Moreno could not identify Balaguer, knowing that he is not an ordinary visitor, he is a priest. And in his affidavit, Balaguer claimed that he visited and discussed with Rizal 3 times at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and then 10 in the evening. So 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and then 10 p.m. So he was the chief negotiator in his claim, in his affidavit of the recantment or the retraction of Rizal. Although the Moreno's account is somehow, if true, the reason why it is somehow a big blow on the account of Balaguer, because according to analysis, there's no reason that Moreno could not identify Father Balaguer, knowing that Moreno was able to identify his sisters and other visitors, and why not Father Balaguer, who is a priest. So that is why the account of Moreno will put the affidavit and the narrative of Father Balaguer as a second source. But the nature in here, the essence of these two narratives is that it is about the retraction of Rizal. And what are the points, salient points, where we can say that Rizal indeed retracted his member to Masonry? First, the Catholic Church forbid giving sacraments to those who did not retract. So like sacrament of marriage, confession, hearing the mass, and the communion. So that the things are, maybe hearing the mass is perhaps allowed, but communion, marriage, and confession is part of the retraction already. So these two, uh, communion and sacrament of marriage, this is forbidden by the church, not to any member of the Freemasonry. So given that according to Moreno, there was a Rizal signed a document of retraction, so that was around 3 p.m. Uh, and then since it is forbidden by the church that it should not be given to Rizal, then we can say that Rizal indeed retracted. So nakasal siya by 5 a.m. the Josephine Bracken. Although this is kinda a loose claim, no, because there's no evidence of contract of marriage. But communion and confession, hearing the mass, kissing the Blessed Virgin Mary, kneeling before the altar, praying the acts of faith, hope, and charity, praying for a departing prayer for departing soul, and all those are points that he really retracted his membership to Masonry. So he died a Catholic. Rizal died as a Catholic, not a member, or not remained a member of Masonry. And also, this is coming, again, I will repeat, this is coming from an eyewitness, and that is Frederick Moreno, member of the Intelligence Security Corps of Manila. So, although there's no contract, no marriage contract, but still it is coming for the eyewitness. It is a big blow, not just a big blow, but it is somehow invalidating all claims and all sources of the Masonry claiming that Rizal died as a Mason. So I hope you have that. I hope that explanations and narrative gave clarity and the proof that Rizal indeed recanted or retracted his life and deeds as a Mason, and returned and reconciled to the Catholic Church